So that way everyone who watches the recording gets this little bit of me just riffing about this teaching, which is the teaching of as above, so below. It's a teaching that comes from the 7 Hermetic principles. The Hermetic principles came from Egyptian, the Emerald Tablet, and they're said to be like the truths about life. And it's really fascinating when you kind of hold that in the back of your head, like as above, so below. So as above, we have this planetary influence during the new moon, which is Cancer. And Cancer is a water sign to do with the breasts. And the other place that Cancer relates to is like family. And in the reflection sheet, I wrote, like, we all started our lives in water, in our own water, like the water of the amniotic fluid. And then even like, if you look at like kind of big picture, like where species began, it began from water. So I wrote that and I'm like, okay, that's that. Yep. Okay. And then just today I was thinking and reflecting about how to tune into that a little bit during the yoga nidra. And I just thought it was so curious because I've been in conversations with people today. Like I say, I'm not political. I'd have no opinion on anything, but I thought it's very interesting that in our bigger picture, we have Cancer in this new moon, and we also have this energy at the moment, which is very much to do with when is it appropriate to take a child out of water, right? And I thought, wow, that's like really one of these months where as above, so below, right? They're very much the zeitgeist of the moment is around womb. When is it appropriate or not appropriate to remove cells, being whatever you want to see, from the water? So I just wanted to say that because it really lined up. And I'm happy to kind of come off the recording and talk about that a little bit at the end. But the other symbol of the crab, the Cancer is related to the crab, is another symbol of that going into water and coming out. When is it appropriate to go in the water? When is it appropriate to be out? So I'm just going to drop that little bit in today. And then we're going to get started with the practice. Hopefully you got my email, because I wanted today to do a little bit more yin-like practice before we come into yoga nidra. So I have set up my mat here with, you can either have a towel, or if you have a pillow, then either and or both is good. And if you have any kind of sensitivity around the chest area, then please feel free to do something different. But let's get ourselves set up so that you have whatever support you're going to be, because you're going to be lying down on this, right? And for a little bit of time, and I want you to be comfortable. So we'll take your toes to touch, and then just take your knees to the edge of the mat. You might need another cushion underneath here. Let your seat come back towards your heels, and then take your hands onto whatever support you have. Just let your head release down all the way.
I got the earbud and I can what?
So coming down into child's pose. You're going to start to tune into your hips and just move your hips a little side to side. So just rocking gently side to side. And see if you can imagine that in the pelvis you have water swishing. So you're letting that water swish side to side. And I want to also introduce today, the Cancer is related towards the moon. So I want to introduce the Bhav. Now, Bhav is a Sanskrit word meaning kind of theme, vibe, feeling of moon, right? Moon water. So as you're doing these movements, you can maybe even be imagining that you're in the moonlight moving water, maybe in a canoe, swimming out in the lake. Now come to stillness. Pause for a moment, take a nice deep breath in and exhale out through the mouth. Imagine water draining from the pelvis all the way out and down through the ground. And then come back up with your head. You're going to come to lie over your pillow or whatever you have here for support. And I want you to place the center of the chest onto your pillow. Just scoot a little bit further forward. And then take your elbows in front of whatever you have and push back. Hands are wide, so you're in a sphinx position. Take the feet as wide as you can. And just let your pelvis rock a little side to side. And then looking down towards the ground, close your eyes. And we're going to start to use a mantra. So the mantra is Om on the inhale and then Som, which is the sound of the moon. It's the mantra associated with the moon. So it's an Om as you inhale and Som as you exhale. Now keep your body still and just work on the inhale, saying to yourself Om, and the exhale Som. I'd like you to do 5 more rounds of that. Inhale Om. And the moon is cooling, watery, kind of dreamy feeling, but not in the same way as dreamy like air. It's a little bit more visceral than air. Let your pelvis get heavier. One more time. And then press down into the hands, lift the elbows, move the elbows out to the side, stack your left hand and then your right hand on top. Let your forehead rest down. And notice how that moves your attention into the chest. I want to say like the chest belt. So see if you can breathe in Om and exhale Som 6 times. Breathing in Om and exhale Som. 3 more times. Inhale Om. Exhale Som. Do 1 more. And then again, releasing on the exhale. Take your right hand alongside your pillow. Just press your hand down into the ground, create quite a strong kickstand. And then take your right knee out and as high as you can. Keep your left arm extended and just let your left ear or the side of your face or your head kind of come to rest on your forearm. Now you're going to extend that left leg out on the inhale, and on the exhale, bend the knee, bring the heel back to the buttock. So it's an inhale, extension out, and exhale, heel back to the buttock. If you're not got a slidey floor, then you just can stay in this half frog. We'll do 1 more, and then everyone just staying in the half frog and letting that elbow release down over your blanket, your pillow. So let your body become heavy. When the body becomes heavy, the water can settle. Like the ocean on top of the earth. Right? And even though typically Cancer, the water signs associated with women, energetically, men have this ability to tune into water as well. It's not quite as strong, but it's still there. They have been through the water to enter into the world. Now tent your right fingers again. Slide your right leg back And then this time we'll come to crocodile pose. So you're going to take your elbows onto the ground, make heels of the hand together, and then rest your chin into the heels of your hand. It's like you were kind of like you're watching TV as a kid. I used to watch TV like this as a kid. So you just let that chin rest into the heels of the hand, and then the fingertips can gently come back around the face. Again, Om Som all the way through each of these poses. And then we release, taking the right hand forward, cup the left fingertips, gently push away from the left side, and then slide the left knee up. Let your head rest against the extended arm. And then 3 times, just pressing that leg out, and then bending at the knee, bringing the heel back to the buttock. Again, if you don't have a slidey floor, then you can just keep yourself in half frog pose. And then everyone staying in the half frog, let the right elbow rest down and just pausing here. I always find it super delicious, the fact that in the beginning of summer, that heat, that intense heat that rises often in summertime, we get this nice, cool, watery moon sign, right? It's like the balance is just perfect. And then take your left hand down, press away, and then take yourself back into crocodile pose. So reset forward, bring the heels of the hands underneath the chin. Gently press into the elbows, pull the ribs a little further forward, and then place the chin in, close your eyes. Maybe your middle finger rests on your temples. Om Som. Even the letters Om and Som, right? So many O's in the like the moon. Great. And then take your right arm back round. Now, you might want to do this with a little bit more lift. We're going to come onto the side and pull your apparatus, for want of a better word, underneath the rib cage. And then you're going to reach your arm overhead. So you're in this long body stretch. If you're not feeling any stretch or lift in the lower ribs, then taking your towel, if you have a towel or a blanket, rolling it so it becomes a little higher. And again, placing the rib cage down, starting on the right side. You might need to flex your feet or stagger your legs if you feel a little unbalanced. And then taking the top arm up and then all the way over, letting the hands rest. And then just close your eyes. One more breath. And then you're going to roll onto the other side. So roll through your center, come onto the left side. Start with the hand alongside the body, stack your feet, and then reach your arm up overhead and pull over, resting hand over hand. And 3 breaths here. Om Som. And then release the right hand down. You're going to come onto your backs now. So come around so that your blanket, in fact, if your blanket is rolled, let's just take it back to a fold so it's less aggressive and less bendy. So come, you want to have it so that it's underneath the back. So the line of the chest is around here like a band over the back band of the chest. So you're placing it slightly underneath the shoulders. You might use, if you have a second cushion, you might use that underneath your head and get yourself so that it feels like, as if you had like a bandeau top around, it would be all the way around the chest area. You're going to draw your right knee in towards your chest, left leg lengthens out. You can maybe circle the foot a few times. And then let that knee come in line with the hip. You're going to feed that knee over to the left side. So we're coming into a reclined twist. Extend your left arm, and then you're going to take your right hand and sandwich it on top of the left. Now you're going to inhale, drag your hand over your arm, over the chest, and then into the twist. And then the exhale, you roll from the wrist through the armpit, over the chest, along your left arm, and back down to the hand. We'll do that 3 times. So notice if you start coughing, it means that your lungs are, maybe reaching a new area. Maybe you need to go grab some water. Go ahead. Do one more. I always say when you start to sneeze or cough or things like that, it's a good thing. You've reached an area that was congested. Okay, last one. Just rest on your side. Take a breath in, breath out. And then come back to center. Press down into your feet so you align your body. Check that your blanket or whatever it is, your towel is still underneath the back of the chest band. And then take the left knee in, extend the right leg out. Again, circling their ankles. And then let the knee come in line with the hip so it's not pulled in so tightly. And then feed it over to the right side. Extending the arms out in T position. And then take your left hand, slide it all the way down the arm. So you've got that down. And then slide it along the arm, over the chest band, and into the twist. Oh boy. So keep on doing that while I go grab some more water. Good, one more. And then next time you happen to have your arm up, stay on the right side. And then slowly make your way back onto your back again. This time, set your feet down onto the ground. Lift your hips up. Remove the blanket out from underneath your back chest. Take your hands, interlace your fingers, and draw the shoulder blades together. Press the shoulders up so you're taking yourself into bridge pose. Chin slightly tucked in. And then lift your heels, release your hands, slowly take your buttocks down. Let your pelvis settle. Draw your right knee in, and then you're going to cross the right knee over the left knee, taking figure 4. So you're going to draw that left knee in towards you. You thread your hands into the gap, and you can take behind the thigh or around the shin. Close your eyes, let your spine soften and melt into the ground here. You can focus on your third eye, so the area between the eyebrows. Imagine you have a moon there. And again, use your mantra, Om Som. So we're going to use this mantra throughout the rotation of consciousness in the Yoga Nidra. Again, coming back to the Bhav, the mood of moon energy, watery, silvery, cool. Right? The mother energy of nurturing. Like water, when we step in water, we are enclosed in it. It is surrounds us, it envelops us. And then take that left foot down, uncross your right knee, bring your knee back to center, and then extend that right leg up. And just taking a stretch of the back of the legs. You can take your hands behind your thighs or move them towards the ankle. I'd keep that left foot on the floor. I wouldn't extend it out. It's too much. So just keep the left foot down. We bend at the knee and set the right foot down. Just pause and let all the energy move to where it needs to go. And then you'll take your left ankle, cross it over the right knee. Draw your right knee in. Again, choose an appropriate place for your hands to hold without struggle. Bring your attention to your back body, the kidney area, and make sure that it's not pulling away from the floor, but it's spreading out wide, like, you know, like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? Kidneys are spreading out wide. Om Som. And then release. Bring that left knee back to center. And then extend the foot up towards the ceiling, taking any position with the hands that allows you to feel the stretch of the hamstring and through the calf muscle. And then from here, rebend the knee and extend that leg out. And I'd like you to take your hands out a little bit away from your body. So separate your feet at least hip width apart and hands out a little bit away from the body. We're going to come in to prepare for Yoga Nidra now. So let's start by just creating a place where we can release tension. So I'd like you to, first of all, bring your attention to your hands and make fists with your hands as tightly as you can. Really squeeze your hands. See if you can imagine squeezing, almost like you're trying to, like your bones were sponges and you're trying to squeeze everything out of the bones. Take that really tightly and hold. Take a nice deep breath in. And then release and let your hands be about 45 degrees away from the body. I highly recommend, if you have any watches or jewelry on, it is recommended to take those off just because you're coming into subtle body. And sometimes if we're wearing jewelry or watches, it actually it stops that flow of energy. So removing the watches, remove your jewelry and anything else that might be constrictive so that your energetic body can really flow nicely. And then let's move down to the legs. So scrunching your toes up, squeezing your calf muscles, squeezing your quads, squeezing your buttocks, even squeezing into the pelvic floor and just holding that really tightly, like you're trying to squeeze juice out the bones. And then slowly release and let almost like a flooding feeling coming. And then I want you to imagine, like in your belly button, that you could pull all of your organs into the tiny space of your belly button. So squeeze everything in from the back, the kidneys, the liver, like you were trying to pack it into a tiny, tiny spot inside your belly button and really keep squeezing there. Take another sip of breath in. Hold it. And then release and imagine all the organs just flooding back with the fresh oxygen back into their appropriate places. And then take your attention to your face. And I'd like you to squeeze everything into the center of your face, like just like you'd eaten the most bitter lemon in the world. And it's like, whoa! So squeeze everything really tightly. Close your eyes, squeeze your eyes, make wrinkles, squeeze your lips, purse your lips, squeeze in and hold it. And then relax, and then feel again that feeling like a water, like holding the water back like a dam, and then that flood. So now we're going to get ready for the practice of Yoga Nidra. So lying down in a comfortable posture of Shavasana with your hands alongside your body, feet a little bit wider than your hips, head, neck, and spine in one straight line. And release your shoulders. Finding a place for the arms where your shoulder blades are not pulled up, but they're really nice and open. So you could play about with exactly the right place for your arms. It might even look asymmetrical. That's okay. And then just open and close your mouth a few times to relax your jaw. Relax your face. Relax your whole body. And gently close your eyes. And your eyes stay closed throughout the practice. So make all necessary adjustments, arrangements within your body. Adjust your posture, adjust your clothing and your blankets and your support, and make sure there are no distractions of any kind. And then once you've checked outside, quickly scan through your body by moving your awareness from one body part to another. Just start at your toes and move your awareness up your legs, through your body, going to the crown of the head. Just move your awareness from one body part to another and try to find any areas where there's still discomfort or uneasiness or sensation or pain or itching. And if you have any of those issues, just address them right now by moving or adjusting your body. So take whatever necessary action, or you could just mentally suggest whatever the affected body part is to relax and see how it responds. Do that now. Once you're settled within the posture of Shavasana, take the mental resolve, I shall not move my body. My body shall remain still throughout the practice. If you do need to move any body part, do it with complete and total awareness. So no fidgeting until the end of the practice. The body is slowly settling within the posture of Shavasana. becoming still, becoming silent, and becoming motionless. As your body reaches still point, I'd like you to come outside your body, imagining that you can walk around your body, looking at yourself from outwith, noticing the clothes that you're wearing without any judgment or fixing. You're just noticing the way in which your body is in this moment. Noticing your body's relationship to the space that you are in. Which way you're turned, the furniture around you, where you are. And also checking that the area around you, like a parameter, is safe. And then once you feel satisfied that you have a snapshot of where you are and that it's safe, bring your awareness to the attention to the natural flow of breathing. So even though the body is still and motionless and silent, observe the flow of the breath, the inhalation, and the exhalation. And these are happening on their own, much like the movement of the ocean. The waves are happening on their own. There is no body or thing making it happen. It is a natural process. The practice of Yoga Nidra begins now. When the practice ends, I'll let you know by telling you the practice of Yoga Nidra is complete. So awareness of your body, the whole body, and the body lying in the posture of Shavasana. Still, silent, motionless. The only movement you can feel or observe in the physical body is the subtle movements caused by the breath. Bring your awareness to the subtle movements within the tissues of the body. Observe the expansion, contraction of the abdomen. And now observe the expansion, contraction of the chest. The rest of the body is completely still. Legs are still. Arms are still. The whole back is still. Shoulders are still. Neck, head, and the face completely still. Experiencing stillness spreading through the whole physical body. You're not trying You are allowing. And it's at this point that a sankalpa or an intention for this yoga nidra based on the influence of Cancer, the sign of water, the physical area of the chest and the breast, and the theme of family and birth may help a sankalpa to float up to the surface. So holding that bhav, holding that intention lightly, we start to bring awareness into the parts of the body that I call out. And as I call out various body parts, I'd like you to internally repeat the mantra Om Som. So begin by bringing awareness to the center of the forehead. Om Som. The center of the throat. Om Som. Picturing a little moon and the conus of the moon there. To the right collarbone. Om Som. Right shoulder. Om Som. Right elbow. Om Som. Right wrist. Om Som. Tip of the thumb. Keep going with the mantra. First finger. Second finger. Third finger. Fourth finger. Center of the palm. Moon. Om Som. Right arm. Right collarbone. Center of the throat. Left collarbone. Left shoulder. Elbow. Wrist. Tip of the thumb. First finger. Second finger. Third finger. Fourth finger. Palm of the hand. Left arm. Left collarbone. Center of the throat. Right chest. And left chest. Right ribs. And left ribs. The diaphragm, center. Right kidneys. Left kidney area, back of the body. And center. left half of the pelvic bowl, some, right half of the pelvic bowl, some, right hip, right knee, right ankle, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right leg, pubic bone, left hip, left knee, left ankle, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left leg, pubic bone, navel, diaphragm, heart center. Bring your awareness back to your body and your breath. Imagining your body is lying in shallow water, warm, shallow water. As you breathe in, you cause a small ripple up from the feet to the top of your head. 11. As you breathe out, that ripple goes back down from the top of the head to the feet. 11. Taking your time, not rushing. I'd like you to follow your breath backwards from 11 to 1, using your breath anchored with the image of a ripple of water moving up on the inhale, 11, down on the exhale, 11. Make sure you stay awake and stay connected. If you skip any numbers, just come back to the beginning and start again. And wherever you are with your counting, just let that go. Bring your attention to your imagination. I'd like you to imagine yourself again in this warm, shallow water. You're still able to breathe, but your body is covered in this warm, shallow water. Lying on the beach or maybe a shallow lake, a warm, sunny day. As you breathe, you cause ripple through the water. When you began life, you began in water, surrounded. Your body is familiar with the surrounding of water. See if you can allow yourself to relax into that. And then I'd like you to imagine that you had your own container for your own, almost like your own water bag, like the amniotic sac that you were created in, within your mother. And then your mother was created within another sac of water that was held within her mother. As you're lying here in this warm water, beginning to trace back all of the sacks of water, the containers of water that existed from you through your mother and your mother's mother and your mother's mother and the mother's mother, so on. Giving yourself widen out into that ocean. Letting yourself stay very spacious. Nourishment of the baby in the womb comes from the umbilical cord. The umbilical cord and our DNA, even our DNA is two strands, masculine and feminine, like a thick vine that winds around. I'd like you to feel from the center of your navel like a connective, almost like the zucchini is attached to the main plant through a winding vine. See two spirals that spiral around each other, one red and one blue. See them moving up away from the body and up towards the sky, beyond the sky, and connecting the red part, connecting into the sun as if you were plugging into the sun. The blue vine plugging into the moon. Letting yourself lie in this water, connected through this etheric umbilical cord back to the earth, to the sun, to the moon, and just let yourself rest here for a moment to heal, to reset. I'd like you to bring back to mind or repeating your Sankalpa. And then imagine that you begin to retract those two cords, bringing them away from the sun and the moon back to center and pulling that etheric DNA stranded cord back into your belly button. Begin to pull your energy back from the ocean and back into your body. The practice of yoga nidra is complete. So begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then drawing your knees in towards your chest, just give yourself a squeeze. Pick your head up and pull your nose in between your knees. And then just set your feet down onto the ground for constructive rest. So take your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Let your knees come in towards each other. So the feet are wide, the knees are kind of knock-kneed. And if it feels nice, you can let the knees go side to side, windshield. Otherwise, just staying still. And when you're ready, I'd like you just to extend your right arm alongside your head and then roll onto the right side, but stay on your side for at least 3 breaths. So I'm going to count the breath here so you don't jump up. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and now press down into the ground and come back to sit up. Bring your hands together. Namaste.